Good evening and welcome to our continued special programming. The stage has been set for Modi 3.0 today in a crucial meeting of the NDA. The Prime Minister said that good governance has been synonymous with the NDA. He said that the NDA government in the next 10 years will focus on good governance, development, the quality of life and minimum interference in the lives of citizens. But very importantly, breaking news now coming in, a communique from Rashtrapati Bhavan saying that the President is satisfied that the NDA has the numbers and the NDA has been invited to form the government.
Well, we have with us Nikunj Garg. The President is satisfied and convinced that the BJP-led NDA, in fact, has the numbers and, in fact, with the powers that invested upon her by the Constitution of India, she has invited the Prime Minister to form Modi 3.0, the next government. Nikunj, tell us what is the significance of this moment?
Vasudha, this is the final step to the government formation. Any government formation, majority government or a coalition government. So in that sense, the final step to the formation of the new government has been taken. That is the accord of the presidential assent to the ruling party or any party's claim to form a new government. So the president, in essence, with this communication from the President House, has accorded her assent, and that, with that, the sovereign assent in that sense to the claim of the NDA this time, which is, of course, the largest three-pole alliance. Remember, the precedent says that either you invite the single largest party, which it has the clear majority very well, with allies. So, largest single party three-pole, the fourth-pole or the three-pole alliance, which secures the majority. In this case, the largest three-pole alliance, which is the National Democratic. According to the President, she has satisfied her conscience and her legal duties as the sovereign of the state, and has Minister Narendra Modi to form the NDA government 3.0 as this time support with a coalition government led by Minister Modi and the BJP. So this is the thing.
All right, Nikunj, we're losing that line with you, but thanks very much for sharing those details with us. The President has invited Narendra Modi to form the next government. This will be Modi 3.0, his third term. Let's listen in to what the Prime Minister said at Rashtrapati Bhavan just a short while back.
साथियों, एनडीए सरकार को तीसरी बार देश की सेवा करने का देशवासियों ने आदेश दिया है, अवसर दिया है। मैं देशवासियों का फिर से एक बार ये अवसर देने के लिए हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और मैं देशवासियों को विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि 18वीं लोकसभा में भी हमारे 5 साल के कार्यकाल में भी हम उसी गति के साथ, उतने ही समर्पण भाव से देश की आशा आकांक्षाओं को पूर्ण करने में कोई कमी नहीं रखेंगे। आज सुबह एनडीए की मीटिंग हुई थी। एनडीए के सभी साथियों ने मुझे फिर से एक बार इस दायित्व के लिए पसंद किया है और सभी एनडीए के साथियों ने राष्ट्रपति जी को इसकी जानकारी दी और राष्ट्रपति जी ने मुझे अभी बुलाया था और मुझे प्रधानमंत्री डेजिग्नेटेड के रूप में काम करने एक नियुक्ति दी है।
Well, today, when the Prime Minister was speaking, Vishnu, at the NDA meeting, he was flanked by allies and he said that nothing has changed. It was NDA government in 2014, NDA government in 2019 and also NDA government in 2024. And, sitting next to him in the order of their power and importance in this government was, of course, TDP's Chandrababu Naidu with 16 MPs, Nitish Kumar with 11 MPs and also several others including Eknath Shinde, Ajit Pawar, Apna Dal's Anupriya Patel and also H.D. Kumaraswamy.
In fact, the Prime Minister also said that the core of this alliance was that they were committed to the principle of Sarv Panth Sambhav, or all sects are equal. In fact, he started his address by paying tribute to the Constitution, a gesture that had many political undertones. What were some of the key takeaways from the big NDA meeting? Well, why is the Congress calling it a Nitish-Dependent Alliance or Naidu-Dependent Alliance? Those are a couple of things that we'll be looking at a little while from now. But you've also had an important interview, Vasudha. Go ahead.
So, H.D. Kumaraswamy is one of the important allies of the BJP in the state of Karnataka. Of course, there's a Congress government there. H.D. Kumaraswamy's party, JDS, has won 2 seats and BJP, of course, has won 17. It's not as great a performance as the party saw in 2019, but it is still better than what the party was hoping for. I spoke to Kumaraswamy a short while ago on the prospects of the government and, of course, what is he expecting and how is he going to negotiate for the best post. And let's listen in to the chat. On the day of this very special NDA meet, with me is H.D. Kumaraswamy, former Chief Minister of Karnataka and also the MP-elect of Mandya who has won with a huge margin. And this is a party that's also going to play a very pivotal role in the working of the NDA Alliance. Thank you, Mr. Kumaraswamy, for speaking to NDTV. You're the first person who was called to speak today on the NDA Alliance. How do you see the stability of this alliance? What do you think would be the roadmap?
This present NDA Alliance, now that Telugu Desam and JDU, they are also openly committed to the Honorable Prime Minister. Solidly this government will going to be stand future days also for the country what the people required, the stability and to sustain the economic issues. For that actually everybody will going to, with mutual understanding, confidence, they will work out.
Right. Mr. Kumaraswamy, your party is known to be the party of farmers and we have known your experience in that. Is there any special insistence on getting some ministries like agriculture because you have experience in that area?
Up till now we have not discussed anything. Everybody's concentration was about the development from last 3-4 days after the election results. I think from today onwards, regarding the expansion of the cabinet and the portfolio issue, it will come to discussion. Then only we can actually discuss about all those things.
Right. Mr. Kumaraswamy, now that you're part of the ruling government, would the alliances, would the political alignment in the state change? Because will the alliance continue?
This alliance will continue for a long time because last year when Honorable Home Minister invited me to discuss, on that day itself we have decided to continue our relationship for a long term. I think there is no problem with both the parties. We have working from last one year with mutual understanding. There is no hurdles about both the parties together working. There is no issue at all.
Right. So there was also, Congress was speculating that the Congress guarantees will play an important role and they may get actually more number of seats. How do you see it? How do you assess the results in Karnataka?
In this election, there is no influence of these 5 guarantees. Now already Congress circle, their MLAs, they are criticizing about these 5 guarantees. They are demanding to remove those guarantees, to drop that 5 guarantee scheme. It is already going on.
Right. And sir, how did you think of the Prime Minister's speech today? In some ways he he gave a glimpse of what the coalition would look like.
The Prime Minister's presentation today, not only today, from previous 10 years, whatever he announces several issues, whatever is the vision of his in his mind, I think his mind is working every time, every minute about the development of this country.
Right.
The problem to say, solve those problems, that is the mind he always working out.
Right. My last question to you, sir. How do you also see the growth and expansion of your own party, the future of prospects of JDS, considering that the party has gone through some challenging times?
Karnataka, in future days, there is a prospectus for the JDS party with the alliance with BJP also. Individually also in this election, our party workers, they have already impressed about their working pattern with the combination of BJP. BJP friends, they are happy the way in which our party workers, they have worked in this election to win the BJP candidates.
Right, sir. And a giant killer in the form of Dr. C.N. Manjunath has emerged, and it was very surprising because he defeated D.K. Suresh. Would you be talking about health ministry for him, sir?
For us, that incident, that Dr. Manjunath, who contested from Bangalore rural constituency, yes, that is right. Everybody feels that he's a giant killer. But regarding his portfolio or becoming health minister, that is left to BJP High Command. They have to decide.
So JDS Chief H.D. Kumarasamy saying that he will talk about the portfolios at the right time with the BJP. As of now, the formal negotiations haven't begun. That's what he has said formally, officially to us. Meanwhile, Congress Party's Pawan Kheda has hit out at the NDA Alliance. He's also in charge of the media and publicity department. In fact, he spoke to NDTV. Thank you, Mr. Khera, for speaking to us. Well, the NDA is well over 272. One would ask you, why are you being so critical of the NDA Alliance that is yet to start working, considering UPA too was functioning as a union of parties?
We are not critical. We know the characters involved. We know the lead character of this so-called alliance is a man who thought of himself until 10 days ago as a reincarnation of God. The man who could not tolerate even a single person from his own party within the frame of a camera. Now he'll have to share power. So we know exactly what we are talking about. 25 years of his political career, he has not shared power at all ever, not even with his shadow. So therefore, we are confident that people of self-respect, Mr. Naidu is a man of self-respect, Mr. Nitish Kumar is a man with self-respect. Anybody has an iota of self-respect would not be able to work with this self-obsessed man called Narendra Modi.
Well, Mr. Khera, now you're heaping praises on both Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. Do you now feel that the Congress could have tried more to keep Nitish Kumar within the UPA fold, or in fact reached out to Chandrababu Naidu when he was actually thinking and taking his time about the alliance with BJP?
Well, in politics, all that is happening is not always visible, and all that is visible is not always that is happening. So there are things that happen away from the glare of spotlights of the cameras, and wait and watch.
Well, so the Congress party has said that it will take appropriate action at the right time. Can you tell us what kind of moves can we expect from the opposition, given that you don't really have the numbers?
Well, right now we may not have the numbers, but there are people from the NDA and people who are independent of both alliances who are really worried about the country and the constitution and democracy. And they are also waiting for the right time. And I think we'll all come together to protect the Constitution of India. So for that, we don't need a muhurat. Whenever the right time comes, could come within weeks, it could come within months, who knows?
Well, the Prime Minister today also said that the opposition, with its welfare promises, specifically misled people. There are people waiting with parchis that you asked them to fill out, and now they're being asked to leave your offices. What do you have to say on that?
I mean, this is a man who's just scraped through a victory in his own constituency and as an alliance. He should now be focused on what will he do for the country instead of being obsessed with the opposition. 10 years he wasted just getting obsessed with Nehruji. Now he has to stop this obsession. I don't know, I think he needs to really consult a doctor. Why should he be so obsessed with the opposition?
Okay, realistically, how confident are you of the India bloc allies staying together? Because we did see a lot of arguments and sort of disagreements with the Sangli seat or Mahavikas Agadi's seat sharing arrangements, or even in, for that matter, even in UP or Delhi, all the other states.
Not only absolutely confident of the current form of India alliance, but I'm also confident of India as a family growing, and I don't see any hiccups, any major issues amongst the members of the India alliance.
Okay, we did speak to NDA allies today, and I spoke to Kumaraswamy and also a couple of others, and they feel that the PM's speech today was one of reassurance that everyone will be working together, everyone will be taken along. Why do you feel otherwise?
I mean, the man who could not take along his own cabinet, the man could not take along the RSS, and in the middle of the election, there are comments coming from none other than Mr. JP Nadda that they don't need the RSS anymore. How can anybody trust that man's word? I mean, NDA right now is Nitish-Dependent or Naidu-Dependent Alliance, and let's see for how long does it stay that way.
Thank you, Mr. Khera. That was Pawan Khera, the Congress leader also in charge of media and publicity of the Congress party. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. So, Vishnu, there are many questions that the opposition is, of course, raising with respect to the future and stability of this government. Of course, UPA too was a union of alliances.
Well, let's just go across now. We are joined by Pattabi Ram, Kumar Reddy, spokesperson of the TDP, Aarti Jared, the senior editor, Chitra Bantham, the spokesperson of the Congress, Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan of the BJP, and Himraj Ram, spokesperson of the JDU. Thank you all very much for being with us. Mr. Pattabi Ram, let me come to you first. Till yesterday there was a sense that your party and certainly the JDU were very much in the process of negotiating. Today, it's a united NDA. You've been invited to form the government. Has conversation on the portfolios that you seek been put onto the back burner, at least till the government is sworn in?
Mr. Good evening.
Good evening.
See, let me make it absolutely clear that, there were no negotiations or discussions about ministries or portfolios, no demands absolutely from our side, from Mr. Naidu on behalf of TDP. Our party's priority is the development of the state. We were never behind these ministries and portfolios. Let me also remind you that between 1999 and 2004, even when Mr. Naidu was the convener of NDA, we were not even in the cabinet. We were supporting the NDA, active in the NDA, but we were never behind ministry. So even now, yes, we will be in the cabinet this time, but there are no demands as such from our party. We have a beautiful working relationship with the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Shri Amit Shah, and all the top leaders of the BJP. And I was just listening to Mr. Pawan Khera when he was speaking. I was surprised. He was calling the NDA as so-called alliance. What does he mean by the so-called alliance? Today, the India alliance is a myth. India alliance is a pack of cards which is collapsing, whereas NDA is a reality. So let Pawan Khera do a reality check. Delhi में आपने राम राम बोल दिया, आपने already राम राम बोल दिया. What is your position in Kerala? What is your position in West Bengal?
No, but
you talk about so-called alliances. So
fair enough.
Do a reality check.
Fair enough, and we'll get the Congress to reply to that in a moment. But just to follow up on what you said, when you say that there has been no discussion on portfolios or ministries, is it safe then for me to assume that the TDP will be happy with whatever is given to you?
See, yeah, we have full faith and confidence in Mr. Modi. We are pretty sure that the ministries and the portfolios that are going to be allotted to us will be of some prominence. It is not that we have to again negotiate or demand. Mr. Naidu and Mr. Modi, you have seen the body language today in the Central Hall. Mr. Naidu's statement today that Mr. Modi is the right man at the right time for the country. He is the one who is going to make India the next superpower in the world. So that is the kind of respect we have on Mr. Modi, and we are sure that we will given a few important portfolios.
But Mr. Kumar Reddy, just one
demands
final
as from our
question,
side.
and I keep interrupting poor Vasudha over here, who is also looking to jump in, but it's so great to have you on the program. Mr. Kumar Reddy, I'm just trying to understand all the acrimony which we've seen in the past. In fact, in interviews, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has been very critical of the BJP in the past. He's spoken about interference by agencies. He's been critical of Prime Minister Modi as well. Is that a past chapter? Can you tell us whether it is or it isn't?
Yeah, I agree, Vishnu. I agree. There were differences before, but those are not things which can't be ironed out. So,
Okay.
I mean, the past is past. Now we have absolutely no differences. We have, as I've said, we have a beautiful working relationship with all the leaders in the BJP, and I can assure you that this government, without any hiccups, without any speed breakers, will last its full 5-year term. Both Mr. Naidu and Mr. Modi share this vision 2047. So they both have the same vision to make India the #1 country in the world and to make Andhra Pradesh the #1 state in the country. So that is the vision which both the leaders share. And let the Indie people have a dream about things which are not going to happen. So let me
ask a question to Mr. Paswan. Mr. Paswan, yesterday Chandrababu Naidu had spoken to the new MPs, the new MP elects, and he said this very important thing that this time he's not going to make the mistakes that he has made in the past. He's going to focus on political governance. It's not going to be a bureaucrat-led governance in Andhra Pradesh. He's also spoken about welfare model. So this is clearly a different Chandrababu Naidu. But knowing that both Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, you come from the state of Bihar, both of these people have worked with the opposition in the past. How confident are you of this alliance really working out? Because these are people who have pulled the rug, beneath the feet of your own parties in the past many times.
No, Vasudha, I think two very brief points. Number one, in politics and in diplomacy, there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies, there are permanent interests. So I don't think we need to go beyond the contours of regular politics when we judge the nature of alliance between the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Telugu Desam Party, and the Janata Dal United as well. We have worked in the past. There is a history behind it. 1995, when JDU was in its previous avatar, the Samta Party, it was one of the founding members, Telugu Desam Party, like our friend from the TDP pointed out. In 1999 to 2004, TDP was a strong ally of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And let me make this point very clear, because since yesterday there have been conversations, there have been discussion on how sustainable this alliance is going to be. Bharatiya Janata Party has been one party that has brought the status of coalition to that of a dharma. Coalition dharma was introduced to the Indian political lexicon by none other than Bharat Ratna, former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Second point, we have to understand that when we were 182 MPs, 182 member of parliament, we ran an effective coalition for 5 years. Now we are 240 odd MPs.
Right. Guru, one more question before you go to your second point. See, there are also matters which are, core to your ideology, be it UCC or other matters. Do you think with people like, Devegowda is seen as the father of secularism in India because he's seen as completely secular. You also have Chandrababu Naidu, you have Nitish Kumar. Do you think some of these matters which are centered around the BJP RSS ideology will take a back seat now?
No, I don't think at all, because if you do a statistical or a sociological analysis of, let's say, Article 370, the core ideology of JDU is social justice. By revocation of Article 370, the benefits are reaching to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, the women in the OBC of Jammu and Kashmir. So, and as far as Uniform Civil Code is concerned, this is a constitutional prerogative. Baba Sahib Ambedkar spoke about it. So there is an alignment of interest, there is an alignment of political thinking and ideology where we absolutely don't see or entertain any difference coming at all.
Okay. Himraj Ramji, namaskar. Himraj ji, कल जेडीयू ने अग्निवीर अग्निपथ स्कीम का मुद्दा उठाया था. कास्ट सेंसस के बारे में भी जेडीयू का काफी ओपिनियन है, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड का भी मुद्दा है. तो इन मामलों में आप कैसे नेगोशिएट करेंगे एनडीए के साथ, बीजेपी के साथ?
देखिए, जहां तक जदयू का सवाल है, जदयू ने तो शुरू से ही जातीय गणना को लेकर के अपना पक्ष स्पष्ट रखा है. बिहार में जातीय गणना हुई और जातीय गणना के बाद जातीय गणना का जो है आंकड़े जो है खुलासे किए गए और उसके आधार पर आबादी के हिसाब से हिस्सेदारी देने के उद्देश्य से आरक्षण का दायरा 75% बढ़ाया गया और इस बात को हम आगे तक ले जाना चाहते हैं और पूरे देश में जातीय गणना हो, इसकी हम वकालत करते हैं। दूसरी बात हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि जातीय गणना को लेकर के अन्य जो विपक्षी पार्टियां हैं वो क्रेडिट लेने के लिए अपना अपना तर्क अपने अपने तरीकों से दे रहे हैं, लेकिन ये जातीय गणना को लेकर के बिहार में सर्वदलीय बैठक हुई थी। सर्वदलीय बैठक में निर्णय लिया गया था और इसमें उस समय मोदी जी देश के माननीय प्रधानमंत्री थे। मोदी जी से बिहार के सभी दलों के शीर्ष नेता जाकर के समूह में मिले थे और मोदी जी ने भी स्वीकृति दी थी कि बिहार चाहे तो अपने खर्चे से बिहार में जातीय गणना करा सकता है। तो इसके आधार पर बिहार में जातीय गणना हुई थी और अभी तो ये जरूरत है पूरे देश में, हम इसके पक्ष में हैं कि देश में जातीय गणना हो, हर राज्यों में इसकी गणना हो, ताकि जो वंचित समूह है उसको भी हिस्सेदारी मिले और उसके हक की हकमारी नहीं हो।
Himraj ji, एक second, let me get a quick reaction. Dr. Paswan, among the many things that Himraj ji said, he spoke about a caste census and how it needs to be a national one. Now, that's an issue where the BJP has problems.
No, absolutely not. I don't think we have any problems, Vishnu, because हेमराज जी को भी याद होगा कि जब बिहार में जातिगत जनगणना करना है तो बिहार विधानसभा में भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जनता दल यूनाइटेड, हम लोगों ने साथ मिलकर के तय किया था जातिगत जनगणना। ये हम लोगों का कमिटमेंट है और ये साझा सहमति से हम लोग आए थे। तो देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो सेंस ऑफ कंफ्यूजन, देयर इज नो एम्बिवलेंस और एम्बिग्युइटी व्हेन इट कम्स टू कास्ट सेंसस और सोशल जस्टिस। इट इज आवर कमिटमेंट. भारतीय जनता पार्टी हैज बीन पार्ट ऑफ इट and if need be we'll do it nationally as well.
Right. Chitra, as somebody who covers the government and the BJP, every time there is a problem with the BJP, every time the BJP faces a setback, be it 2017 Gujarat or 2018 Madhya Pradesh elections or Chhattisgarh elections, the party has always bounced back with, more numbers. If you look at Gujarat Congress now, or for that matter, what is happening in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, how confident are you that this is the time that Congress is rising and the rise is not going to be stopped anytime soon? Because BJP, this is Modi-led BJP and it's known to bounce back with more force.
Well, Vasudha, I must tell you that the Modi-led BJP government clearly has lost this mandate this time. The mandate of the people is against the leadership and the dictatorial way the Modi government has been, serving the nation for the past 10 years. It has been 10 years. 10 साल अन्याय काल against which the people of our country has given their mandate. Now coming to the NDA alliance, okay, although the NDA might have gone into the polls having an alliance so called, but they all had diversing propaganda or diversing issues at hand. While the Prime Minister Modi on one hand completely went out and played the communal Hindu-Muslim card against the OBC SC/ST reservation, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu had promised from that open platform that he will prefer to give 4% reservation to the Muslim community. Even the caste census that was termed as an eyewash by the Prime Minister Modi after its results were displayed, they were completely sidelined by Prime Minister Modi during the entire campaign. He did not mention a single word about caste census. Now today, just on the media, if they are committing that caste census is going to be a reality, it is very surprising to see as to how that is going to happen in the future.
No, now, but Dr. Paswan on this program said that is something that the BJP would seriously consider doing. Number one, it is a change in their publicly stated position. Yeah. And number two, Himraj ji also said that is an expectation of the JDU. So the way I would look at it, Chitra, is that here on this program, you've got two members of the NDA, talking in one voice. It may have had differences earlier, but he said it.
And Amit Shah himself has on the record said that, the BJP does not have a problem with caste census and will take a decision at the appropriate time. So,
having not a problem, why didn't they do it in the past 10 years?
But they are willing to do it now.
We will see. We will wait and see.
Okay, so we'll wait and see. And we've got this. This is all recorded. It is on digital. And Aarti keeps track of these very closely. So we will hold Dr. Paswan to this. And And we will see Himraj ji's reaction as well.
Okay, Aarti,
go
yes,
ahead, sorry.
Yes, Aarti, what do you, I mean, I'm very curious to know, what did you think of today's optics, you know, projection of this sense of confidence that the Prime Minister had? He spoke longer than we expected. He spoke about the G20, he spoke about the middle class, he spoke about a lot of things that, you know, probably he hasn't spoken about earlier or too many times. So clearly, what do you think, what do you make of today? And showering too many praises on Chandrababu Naidu. He's, you know, in fact, he called Pavan Kalyan, Pavan nahi Aandhi hai. So clearly there was a lot of bonhomie there. So what did you think of the coordination, or at least the optics of it?
Well, you know, I saw today's NDA meeting as, you know, a summit meeting where, you know, and, you know, in all these international summits, when heads of state meet, the nitty-gritties have already been sorted out before they meet. So I would assume that, you know, the discussions on portfolios, what everybody's going to get, what share of the pie they're going to get, has more or less been sorted out before. And today was really an opportunity to present a show of unity, to show that all of them were united and that they will stay together for the next 5 years. You know, particularly because from the other side, you know, remember this time, the opposition is quite a formidable voice and a formidable bloc. You know, it's just 60 seats behind the NDA. So, you know, if they can actually knit themselves into a cohesive bloc, they will be quite formidable in Parliament. So I think for the NDA and for Prime Minister Modi in particular, it is important to project the show of unity with all his allies. And I think that's what today's NDA meeting was all about. And, you know, I mean, if he showered praises on his allies, well, his allies also showered praises on him. I mean, Chandrababu Naidu, Nitish Kumar tried to touch his feet. You know, for somebody who's known as a Paltu Ram, that was, you know, quite a significant gesture. So, I think...
But, you know, Aarti, I'll tell you one other thing that happened. Yesterday at a time when the Congress raised so many allegations of a stock market scam, the stock markets today went up to record highs, number one. Number two, the RBI came out with certain statements about the state of the economy, which was seen to be quite positive. So, again, in the dynamics of the stock market, there will be ups and there will be downs. But to write off the stock markets as having been victims of a so-called scam, I would suggest that one needs to take a look at a more long-term perspective. Look at what happened today, just a day after what was alleged. What are your views on this?
Are you asking me?
Yes, Aarti.
Yeah. So I think the stock markets have rallied because, you know, there is now a stable government, well, at least, you know, Prime Minister Modi is back as Prime Minister. And I think that is very important for the stock market because they expect that there will be some kind of continuity in terms of policy and, you know, reforms, governance, and so on. Now we have to wait and see what the portfolio distribution will be. You know, I mean, and I think that should be evident in a couple of days. You know, from which then we can draw some inferences on how this government is going to function. But if you look at the, you know, characters here, I mean, Chandrababu Naidu is very much on the same page as the Prime Minister when it comes to reforms, development, you know, business-friendly environment, and so on. Nitish Kumar, of course, is a dyed-in-the-wool socialist. But even he cannot be oblivious to the winds of change that are sweeping through the country. And I think that, you know, he will have to moderate some of his socialism to keep in tune with, you know, the aspirations of people who want, you know, a much more modern development model.
Mr. Kumar Reddy, you know, I've been tracking the TDP for the last few days, and this is a new TDP, you know, except Ram Mohan Naidu, every MP of yours is going to be new to Delhi. Chandrababu Naidu, of course, is not the same person that we saw him in the 90s, and of course also in 2014. 2014, you had one cabinet berth and one MOS Science and Technology. Tell me, how is the new TDP going to negotiate the politics of Delhi? Because clearly the other allies are also going to be super jealous of you. So how is the party planning to sort of take this forward? Because clearly in Andhra Pradesh also there are challenges. YSRCP could not break despite Jagan being in jail. And this is, Chandrababu Naidu is known for his, for empowering wealth creators. There has to be a complete shift to welfare model now. There'll be questions asked on, promises that you fulfill. The loan waiver promise will come back. How are you looking at all of these challenges, sir?
Yeah, Vasudha, as you rightly pointed out of the 16 MPs that we have in Parliament, 14 of them are first-timers. Apart from Ramo Naidu and Sri Krishna Devalu, all the others are freshers. And Magunta Srinivasu Reddy also. So 13 of them are fresh because this time we have given opportunities to a lot of young candidates. TDP is trying to groom the next gen leadership. So that's the reason why you're finding so many young MPs in Parliament on behalf of Telugu Desam Party. And coming back to your second question, yes, a lot of people will be jealous today on TDP and Mr. Naidu because Mr. Naidu, as you know, as you've seen in the past, is known to, steal the limelight in Delhi. He was, whether it be 96 or 98 or 99. So the entire Delhi politics used to be around Mr. Naidu. Yeah. So even this time too, we are in a powerful situation, but we don't want to take advantage of it in a different way. We want to use that power, for uplifting the state, which has been completely destroyed by Jagan Mohan Reddy. The brand AP had been completely destroyed. AP, which was once used to be a #1 destination for FDIs, today is known for its drug trade and ganja trade. So our big task is, to keep the state of AP back on track, for which we need huge support from the center. So our MPs and TDP and Mr. Naidu will be using that power, which are talking to, get extra support for the state. There are a lot of aspects which have to be implemented, which are there in the Reorganization Act, whether it be the building of a new capital, Amaravati, or the Polavaram. So the issues which are there pending with the center, it is on those issues which we are going to use our power, and at the end of the day, the state will benefit. And the last question which you asked, welfare and development will go parallelly. Okay. Even before also, Mr. Naidu knows how to create that wealth. Mr. Naidu knows how to generate revenue for the state, and it is through that extra revenue which we are going to implement all the welfare schemes that we have announced in our manifesto. So it is a balance of both development and welfare.
Got it. I just wanted to, go across to Dr. Paswan and then after that go back to the Congress as well. It seems to me that increasingly it's back to work, business as usual. That what we were talking about for the last couple of days in terms of the demands, at least today we aren't hearing it. Perhaps you won't hear it till the swearing in is done. There is confirmed attendance of 6 foreign leaders, the Bangladesh Prime Minister, the Nepal Prime Minister, the Mauritius Prime Minister, Sri Lanka's President, the King of Bhutan, the President of Maldives, and the President of Seychelles. The economy has, at least the stock markets have rebounded today in a strong way. Is there a strong expectation, A, at the level of the markets, B, internationally, that we need a stable India to get on with the business of, at the international level, being a voice of the global south and being an important global player? So, do you sense that that's what the world expects?
No, Vishnu, I think you have made a very important point about the stock market conversation that started yesterday with the conversation of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi absolutely has no sense of history. The largest scam in the history of stock markets, 93 Harshad Mehta scam, it was under the Congress government. The second largest scam, the 2009 Satyam Ramalingam Raju scam, it happened under the Congress government. And let me also take you back, the capitalization of the entire stock market in 2014, it was 92 lakh crore. The capitalization after 10 years of Modi government was 334 lakh crore. So I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi needs a refresher course on stock market. Mr. Rahul Gandhi needs a refresher course on how the Security and Exchanges Board of India regulate, and then he can make any accusation and so on. Your second point is also very interesting. You would remember, Vishnu, that in 2014 when the swearing in happened, we had the head of states from across SAARC states. Yeah. We even had the Pakistan head of state. So I think India in the last 10 years, we have built an image, be it the leadership of the International Solar Alliance, the leadership of the coalition of disaster resilient infrastructure. You mentioned in your speech about Prime Minister mentioning about the grand G20, India leading the world on the International Day of Yoga, and the Voice of Global South. So for the first time, we saw, for instance, how inclusive the G20 was. The African Union was given a permanent membership of G20 under the leadership of India. And I think Bangladesh was invited as well. So how the entire world is more inclusive, more integrated, and the Voice of Global South, which seems like a very brilliant initiative in the realm of international politics, definitely indicates towards one important thing, that India is going to be stable, secure, status quoist, and an extension from the last 10 years, from which we have seen becoming the fifth largest economy, the first country to land on the lunar South Pole, and reaching where the crisis is. So I think the respect and the recognition for India has internationally increased phenomenally.
Okay, हेमराज जी, आज नीतीश जी जब बात कर रहे थे, उन्होंने ये कहा कि बिहार का सारा काम हो ही जाएगा. अब ये बिहार का काम हो जाएगा, लेकिन चुनाव अभी अगले साल हैं, तो बहुत बातें यहाँ पे ऐसी हो रही हैं कि चुनाव के पहले भी काफ़ी पॉलिटिकल डेवलपमेंट्स हो सकते हैं. आपको कितना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि एनडीए साथ रहेगी, एक साथ रहेगी बीजेपी जेडीयू? क्योंकि पहले भी हम बहुत सुनते थे कि बीजेपी और जेडीयू में भी जो है काफ़ी जो है एनिमिटी रहती है, थोड़ा राइवलिज्म रहता है.
देखिए, बीजेपी के साथ जनता दल यूनाइटेड का नेचुरल संबंध है, नेचुरल गठबंधन है, और ये लंबे समय से चल रहा है. समता पार्टी के काल से एनडीए का पार्ट रहा है, एनडीए का हिस्सा रहा है जनता दल यूनाइटेड, और बीच में कुछ दिनों के लिए कुछ मुद्दों के आधार पर राष्ट्रीय जनता दल के साथ गठबंधन में चली गई थी, लेकिन मुद्दों पर फेल होने के कारण उनके साथ संबंध ज्यादा दिनों तक नहीं चला. लेकिन फिर पुनः एनडीए में जनता दल यू का वापसी होना यह निश्चित रूप से एक मायने रखता है, और देश के राज्य के विकास में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका भी है. और आज एनडीए की जो सरकार बन रही है, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में, मोदी जी जो देश के प्रधानमंत्री बन रहे हैं, जो जनादेश मिला एनडीए को, और उसमें बहुत ही अहम भूमिका में जनता दल यूनाइटेड है, और नीतीश कुमार जी ने अपना समर्थन पत्र भी दिया है, और मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाने के लिए भी अपनी सहमति दी है. और निश्चित रूप से मैं कह सकते हैं कि ये कार्यकाल पूरे समय तक चलेगा, और जनता दल यू एनडीए के साथ है, और एनडीए के साथ पूरे कार्यकाल तक रहेगा, लंबे समय तक रहेगा, और दोनों मिलकर सरकार चलाएंगे. और इससे बिहार को बहुत बड़ी आशाएं हैं, बिहार में अच्छी उम्मीदें हैं. बिहार में इस सरकार से बड़ी उम्मीद लगाए बिहार के लोग भी बैठे हैं, और हमें विश्वास है कि बिहार के लिए अच्छा काम भी हो सकता है.
राइट. Adi, last question to you. The Prime Minister also very interestingly, spoke about George Fernandez today. He spoke about Mr. Badal today. He spoke about Atal Bihari Vajpayee. There was this concerted attempt to think and talk about NDA leaders. What do you think of that? Well, you of course went to meet L.K. Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi as well.
Yes, I know. And I think, one thing that Narendra Modi is going to have to contend with in this new term of his is the Vajpayee mirror. Because I think, Vajpayee will constantly be held up to him as the yardstick of somebody. He was the first Prime Minister who was able to keep a coalition government going for a full term. Before that we had VP Singh, and, all those governments just fell. So I think, that those are very big shoes to fill. And, I think for Prime Minister Modi, I mean, he has been building up Vajpayee for the last 10 years as a kind of idol. So, let's hope that he takes a few leaves out of Vajpayee's book and, emerges as a consensual kind of leader that Vajpayee was. Because, as Vishnu, as you mentioned, I think, given the kind of turmoil globally today, it is important that India stabilizes and is able to become, some kind of a voice in the global turmoil.
Absolutely.
A voice for peace and stability.
Aarti, I'm just interrupting you because I'm out of time.